I remember Astrid. She's like who I want to be when I grow up.
Hi, so before we start this video, I just wanted to give like a little bit of context, I guess. I don't think I'm gonna be making fashion videos on this channel, at least for now. The thing is, Modern Girls posted like a while ago that they were looking for like a research assistant, and they were like, okay, like you can submit an essay or a video, whatever you want. So I researched for this video for like 2 weeks, but then this fucking dress. Oh my god, this fucking dress. I think 90% of the time I was looking for this fucking dress and I found it. And it turned out to be a fucking Calvin Klein $30 dress. Anyways, I was recording the voiceover like on the day that submissions were closing. And I refreshed the page and the submissions were closed. So I didn't even get to apply for the job, which is fine. It's fine. I'm pretty proud of what I found for this video, so I wanted to post it anyways. So yeah, that's the context of this video. Don't expect any more style analysis because I don't think I'm gonna be doing that anymore because this was a lot of work. Anyways, enjoy the video. Crazy Rich Asians is a 2018 romantic comedy that, upon its release, instantly became just as much of a classic for the 2010s as The Proposal or Bridget Jones have become for the 2000s. Not only is it literally the highest grossing rom-com of the decade, and it's the first modern story with an all-Asian cast since The Joy Luck Club, it also has the best wedding scene in all of cinema, and that's true because I say so. The film follows Rachel Chu, a Chinese-American economics professor who travels to Singapore with her boyfriend Nick to meet his family and attend his best friend's wedding. Once she gets there, she's introduced to Nick's wealthy family and their exclusive world, where she soon learns she's not welcome. Given their economic status, the character's wardrobe had to exude opulence, while at the same time not upstage the actors and separate them from new money families.
But the Young family, they're old money rich. They had money when they left China in the 1800s. And they went all the way down here.
Basically, their clothes and accessories had to serve as world-building elements and reinforce power dynamics and character development. Although the main plot revolves around Rachel and Nick, the film's main female characters and their interactions with each other are what, in my opinion, really moves the plot forward. Today I will be talking about my favorite character, Astrid, who also happens to have my favorite style and wardrobe.
That's what I want. That's what I want.
The first time we see Astrid as an adult, she makes an iconic entrance, and we see everyone turn to look at her and talk about her, as her accomplishments are numbered before we even hear her speak for the first time. Much like her overall style and character, her outfit looks sophisticated and clean, but still kind and graceful. She wears a baby pink sleeveless Dior dress, a Lady Dior bag, and matching Dior oversized cat-eye sunglasses. In the words of the film's costume designer Mary E. Bocht, the architectural structure conveys strength, but that she's still approachable with a soft collar. She was going to walk into the scene, so I wanted to do something that had a graceful length. The Dior dress is 4 or 5 inches below the knee. She just walked so beautifully in it, and that foolish skirt really showed her off. It was the first time we see her, so it really tells you who she is. Indeed, we learn a lot about Astrid in less than 2 minutes. I actually don't even think Nick's voiceover was necessary, since Gemma Chan's Audrey Hepburn-esque voice and Emma Buck's styling choices give us one of the best character introductions I've seen in a while. Her entrance in a way reminds me of Miranda Priestley's. They both command respect and we learn who they are the minute we're introduced to them, but they convey completely different sentiments.
That's what I want.
Astrid is a socialite and a fashion icon, and she always has to worry about her and her family's image. The one place where you'd expect her to be herself is at home. However, we see she's still hiding a very important part of herself in order to avoid emasculating her husband. We see how hard she's trying to make her marriage work. At first, when she has her maids hide all the expensive things she bought for herself, and then in a more subtle way, when she changes into lingerie to greet her husband. A According to Kevin Kwan, the writer of the Crazy Rotations book series, Astrid sees dressing as her only form of artistic expression. She lives in this very cloistered world where she has to put the right foot forward at all times. Fashion for her is a way of being rebellious, and it's a way of asserting her own creative expression into her life. Astrid almost seems more in her element when she's out shopping than when she's at home with her own husband, since she constantly has to walk on eggshells around him as to not hurt his ego.
Come on, it won't be all bad. Nick and his new girlfriend will be there. You'll like her.
Oh, yeah? Why? Because she's a commoner like me?
What I want is what I want. That's what I want.
In the words of costume designer Ebook, Gemma is so beautiful that we didn't want to put her in anything that would overpower her. Her clothes were always simple, almost no patterns. We mixed in some vintage pieces for her too. We wanted to go clean and simple, to not take away from her face. Her face is the whole story. For dinner at her grandmother's house, we see Astrid wearing a draped Ralph Lauren gown, once again wearing a soft collar, this time a soft blue. Michael is actually also wearing a softer blue, but Astrid's is more muted, perhaps because she's, again, holding herself back in order to keep her husband from feeling lesser than, especially in an environment where he doesn't feel like he belongs.
So I see you've already met Princess Astrid and her little soldier toy boy Mikey. You know Mikey's a big shot tech startup guy, so if you forget your password, he's your man.
In fact, this and the baby pink dress from the beginning are the only time we don't see Astrid wearing bright colors. It's also worth noting that blue is supposed to mean trustworthiness and tranquility, but it is later in this scene when we find out that Michael has been cheating on Astrid.
Another day, another dollar. Got some money, you can holler. Want the commas?
Even though Astrid just discovered Michael is having an affair, she still attends Araminta's bachelorette party to keep up the appearances. Here we see Astrid wearing blue again, only this time it's a brighter shade of the color, in order to put on her usual calm and collected front. While we see the other guests in Araminta wearing custom-made or high-end pieces, Astrid is wearing Calvin Klein in an effort to go under the radar. In the books, we learn that Astrid does this quite often at events that are centered around other people, as to not draw more attention to herself than usual. Later, at the beach with Rachel, we see them bonding, and Astrid is wearing a casual outfit with a Gap striped t-shirt. They share a very sisterly moment, where Astrid opens up and finally lets someone else see the vulnerable, imperfect side of her life.
Another day, another dollar. Got some money, you can holler. Want the commas, not the drama. Need a...
Astrid is back at her grandma's house, having a family moment with her son and wearing bright colors again. In fact, there's a big contrast between her demeanor and her overall appearance in this scene and when we saw her here with Michael. She's wearing a Diane von Fürstenberg sleeveless collar block dress, and we can see how, even though Astrid doesn't share a lot of her family's values, she feels comfortable enough to speak freely and she doesn't have to dress down or be softer around them.
I'ma make a splash. Hundreds in a bag, singles in the trash. All I see is gold stuck to my lash. A moon made of cheese wouldn't be enough cash.
Astrid makes her second strong entrance by her grandmother's arm after confronting Michael about his affair. She's now wearing a bright bubblegum pink Alexander McQueen gown with a halter neckline encrusted with jewels and a Neil Philippe siren clutch. Astrid's dress in this scene somewhat mimics her baby pink dress, like a bolder and angrier version of the Dior ensemble. She's making a statement, and she has realized that Michael's ego will always keep them apart, making everything, even him betraying her trust, fall on her shoulders.
I'm not the one who screwed up.
Of course not. You're always the prettiest, richest, most perfect girl in the room. Well, I'm just this lucky bastard who will never measure up.
Her siren clutch is, according to the designer, an homage to an island that I call home, where I dream of endless possibilities of the world unknown. There's actually a deleted scene where we see Astrid and Charlie Wu dancing and having a great time together while everyone around them is watching. I kinda understand why they cut this scene out, since it could be a bit jarring to see Astrid's mood change that much in the span of only a few minutes, but I also kinda wish they hadn't, because we can see that after this tipping point, Astrid starts to see life beyond her marriage or trying to make Michael happy. There are endless possibilities, and there's nothing stopping her from dreaming of them now. As Michael is getting ready to leave, Astrid confronts him once again, and this time she lets him know that their marriage falling apart had little to do with her wealth and everything to do with his cowardice and fragile ego. Astrid wears a black blouse with floral motifs and wide-legged ivory pants. Funnily enough, this is the first time we see her wear pants around Michael, giving a subtle nod to his previous comment.
Besides, everybody knows you wear the money pants in this family.
However, I want to focus on her accessories because I think they're what really makes this scene such a cathartic moment for her character. First, we have the earrings. As we see Astrid put on the pearl drop earrings, we are reminded of what the seller told her when she purchased them.
They were worn by Queen Subayela at her self-anointed coronation in 1878.
These Muawad earrings represent her independence and her understanding that she deserves better than what Michael can give her. The other important element of her outfit is her clutch. It's another Neil Philippe creation, which, according to Mary Vogt, are art pieces. Philippe's work is inspired by literature, and this specific minaudieres is named after the character Susie Wong. According to him, despite the perception of what people may see in her, her strength and love is like that of a dragon, honorable and true. Some people have compared this scene to the rebirth of a phoenix, but, like a dragon, she fiercely defends her son, putting him above all else. She lets him know that the terms of her divorce, and most importantly, Cassian and her, will not exist only to accommodate to his needs anymore.
On my paper, always frowning, I got mad G's.
For a brief second at the end and in a mid-credits scene, as she shares lingering eye contact with Charlie Wu, we see Astrid in another Diane von Furstenberg dress, a Habitas slip sequin piece with a v-neck. This time, her wearing blue can actually be interpreted as her feeling a sense of tranquility and still a bit of sadness now that she can restart a part of her life. But also, since this is an electric blue, we can think of it as her being ready and excited for what's to come. If I had to describe Astrid's style in one word, I'd say graceful. Vogt's overall work in this film is amazing, but the way she told Astrid's story is by far my favorite. She gives us a visual aid through Astrid's journey and shows us her very own artistic point of view. In the end, Astrid's love for herself and her son, her elegance and strength, while also being vulnerable and sensitive, are what remains, and what makes her not only a fan favorite, but also what helps show how strong women have to be, and how they can aspire to love themselves and not do all the work in order to keep up with other people's expectations of them. Okay, that's it. That's the video. If you like this video, thank you for watching. I worked really hard on this, especially in researching it, and I wasn't just gonna delete everything and move on. So have a nice day, night, whenever you're watching this. Follow me on everything that's in the description below if you want to. And don't forget to always follow Harry Styles' advice.
Subscribe to this channel.
Does she know you call me after hours while she's singing love songs in the shower, getting pretty for you? Does she know the reason why you hate me? 'Cause I think around like a bad dream and there's nothing